this time? Because both Nehra and Munaf performed against Pakistan. In fact, Nehra did better.
Both did
well. Nehra did better.
No. I think they did very well. And full marks to Mahendra Singh Dhoni. You know, he is a leader. You can't teach it to somebody. Either you are a leader or you're not. And I think he leads from instinct. He knew. And I spoke to Nehra 3-4 days before the match. He said he's got a stiff back. I said, boss, you don't want to be remembered for the 14 runs you gave away. Even if you got to go and get a spare new bat from Jama Masjid somewhere, go and get it. And you got to play because you know, you got to be part of history. Everybody has got this intuition and feeling that we're going to do it this time, and you're going to be part of that. And he came back, never picked up a wicket, but bowled 7 overs for 22 runs. At that juncture, you know, we were talking in the field, and even Arun was saying it's a big mistake. It's going to come back and bite us. Nehra shouldn't have played Ashwin. And suddenly those 2 overs, oh yeah, it's a good call. You know, so you got to give time and some space to the players who have been proven performers before. And I think a good captain's quality is such that he knows this.
Unlike Mohali, Wankhede will have a lot of dew. Should this be a concern? And the toss therefore becomes an extremely important factor.
Well, toss was important in Mohali for different reasons.
But we didn't see any dew there.
In Bombay, there is dew. I mean,
yes.
in Mumbai.
Yeah.
In Wankhede, there will be dew. And the point is that this will matter to our bowlers. It will matter to their bowlers. Let's assume Murli is playing. Let's assume Mendes is playing. Both of them will suffer if there is dew when they're bowling second. I mean, this has got to be there. I remember night before last, the commentator was reporting the chaps who were some of their experts who were feeling around on the grass and said there is no dew of any consequence which will not. I came here, I landed in the first question I asked a couple of the people who are old Wankhede hands who've been around for a while, and they said here it will be quite a lot of dew.
Sachin Tendulkar makes this point very clear that once there is dew, the spinners are out of the equation. They just don't play a part. Now think, you win the toss. You know, in this case, will you bat second? Because you've got the batsman to do that. And if Murli and Ajanta, Mendes and X and Y, all of the part-time spinners as well, are out of the equation because of dew, how much of an advantage does that give India? That's a big one.
What about spin? You know, Sri Lanka bowled only 24 balls of spin in the first 10 average.
No, but having said that, you asked Atul the question about New Zealand.
Yes.
That they played, will they have an advantage? We are not New Zealand. We play spin the best in the world. Yes, we did not pick Saeed Ajmal yesterday, but that is an aberration.
What I meant was that Sri Lanka have preferred to use Muthaiya Muralitharan and company for the middle overs.
Because Muralitharan isn't comfortable bowling in the power plays. They have Malinga to do the job in the power plays. Muralitharan is not comfortable bowling in the power plays. They are bowling to their strengths.
Yes.
And they have a very good bowling side. Make no mistake about it.
On the injuries, what's the final, what do you see as the last minute changes in the Sri Lankan side? Atul, we've been talking a lot about, Chaminda, about the replacement bowlers, replacements being brought in, about Angelo. What do you think will be the final order?
Well, there's quite a bit of confusion there. We've been talking about the combinations and permutations, and I think the problem is that they're not comfortable with Thisara Pereira replacing Angelo Matthews. They feel that Angelo Matthews bring a lot to the table with his batting. They can manage Thisara's bowling and Thisara's hitting in the power plays. But what if they have to grind their way out? If they lose early wickets, Angelo Matthews, so I think that's where the problem is. They would love to have Randev in, but I think he is the key guy. He is one bowler. I'm warning you, more than Muralitharan, he is the one to watch. So they would love to get him in. If Angelo Matthews, they said, okay, he's injured, they will get Randev in place of him and probably play Muralitharan and Randev, both of them. Ajanta Mendes doesn't hold that and he's not no more the boogeyman. So I think they're going to tweak the batting.
You don't agree on Suraj?
Point is that India has to get...
Kishore Bhimani doesn't agree on Suraj.
Not only one reason. You suddenly come into the World Cup, you're not match fit. You haven't sort of got acclimatized. You don't have the momentum with you.
Let me stop you.
You're going to come and
let me stop you.
Chaminda was the greatest
Randev and Chaminda has been the best performers in the domestic cricket for the last 15 days. He is the highest wicket taker. Chaminda has taken a hat-trick. He has scored runs opening the batting in ODIs. That's why they have brought them in cover. Randev is the best spinner on view in Sri Lankan domestic cricket this season. So they are in form.
This is the World Cup. Yes.
Yeah, this is the World Cup final. You see, you're doing 15 days of, this is between Ranji Trophy and Test cricket. How many Ranji Trophy great players have never got to Test cricket? You've got to have that momentum, you've got to have that passion, you've got to be there, you've got to be able to have somehow earned your, earned your spurs. And you suddenly can't, however talented you are. I'm a great fan of Chaminda Vaz. I think he's one of the greatest quick bowlers I've seen, with great discipline, tremendous amount of restraint, tremendous amount of accuracy. Yet, if he suddenly comes here at the age of 37, coming in here to replace somebody, no way.
Atul knows more than anybody. If
Chaminda Vaz, I agree about Chaminda Vaz.
You know what? Suraj Randeep comes.
You know why?
Virendra
Because he
Sehwag
just
and Suraj
played in,
Randeep have no love lost with each other. Virendra Sehwag will take to Suraj Randeep straight away. Because, firstly, just what he did to Umar Gul, he will want to establish that psychological edge over the Sri Lankans. That is part of Team India's ploy. First 5, 6, 7 overs, you get to a 50, half the match is done. Lasith Malinga is your only threat and the biggest threat against Sehwag. All of the others, Sehwag has the ability to counter.
I just want to, tell our viewers, I'm going to play out at the very end, before I wrap up the news hour tonight, all the best moments in one package so we can relive what has happened. But before I wrap up, quick word to you. Mental makeup, eventually. How strong are both sides mentally? You said we have got, not a lifeline, but we've got self-belief. I've seen that word used so often over the last 24 hours. There must be some. Are you saying we lacked self-belief before yesterday's game?
No. More than self-belief, I would say momentum. More than self-belief, I would say growing confidence. You suddenly feel you can do it. I don't mean self-belief in terms of a psychological, paraphernalia that this is what they didn't have it before. They had it when they played the Australians. I mean, it was when India played Australia, I thought they were playing for their lives. I was so happy to see that match. I don't get passionate about cricket. After 37 years of commentary and writing, I mean, I just watch it. I don't even support any side.
And emotion, Boria? There's enough emotion for the Sri Lankans also. Muralitharan's last game, we want to win it for Sachin. They want to win it for Muralitharan.
No doubt about it, and they have a great side, but I have not seen an Indian side which can soak in and absorb pressure better than this side does.
So you're saying it's not just a battle of skill this time?
Oh, it is absolutely not. It's the World Cup final, for heaven's sake. It's about the ability to absorb pressure, playing on your home soil and give it back when it matters. Those crunch little battles, who wins those? And and that's where Mahendra Dhoni, that's where Sachin Tendulkar, Virendra Sehwag, Yuvraj Singh, Zaheer
Besides Sachin, who was there during the 1996 World Cup semi-final loss?
Of this team?
Only Sachin?
Not a single player. But in 2003, when we decimated Sri Lanka, there was Zaheer Khan.
So just imagine, Atul, what this match means for Sachin. Because I think the order collapsed after Sachin went.
Yeah, 65.
So for Sachin, 15 years later, this is not just his last World Cup outing, it is undoing the ghost of Eden Gardens more than anyone else, Atul, isn't it? Amazing. I just lost the link with Atul Vasan at that point. I hope I get him back, but isn't that really
question? That's a good question. Sachin was the only one, and listen, this hurts him. I mean, I've spoken to Sachin extensively, and this World Cup trophy is the last missing piece of silverware that man wants desperately. Yesterday, after the break, at drinks break, at dinner break, he came out in 10 minutes. And started practicing. The Indian team came out within 10 minutes of that dinner break and they were practicing at the ground. Now that shows Atul's back.
I got Atul back. I got Atul back on that question. Sachin's, undoing 1996.
You can't equate this. I think, but Arnab, who writes his script? Can you imagine just 9900 home ground World Cup final, his final World Cup probably, and the stage is set. And even Salim Javed can't write a better script. I think it's going to happen here. The whole world, the whole universe has conspired to get him here. And I think, the positive is the mannerism, the body language, and not over the top celebrations at winning. This shows that this team believes that they are supposed to be here. It's their time and they're going to take it.
Well, I think we're going to take it.
Yeah. Against England, he's got 100. Against South Africa, he's got 100. Against Pakistan, he's got the man of the match. He's still the highest scorer in the World Cup and will perhaps end as the highest scorer. Yeah. What else can he do?
Yeah. And tomorrow...
And he's Destiny's child. So Destiny cannot just leave this. Yeah. He has to get it.
Absolutely. And we are so sure that he will. These are the best moments of India-Sri Lanka over the last so many years. As I say thank you to all my guests this evening. It's a pleasure bringing the show to you. And it is an absolute pleasure to focus on cricket at a time when it is the greatest inspiration and perhaps one of the biggest lifelines for this country. Thank you, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Good night and goodbye.